All glories to Mother Atasha. All glories to the religion of love. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to our Supreme Lord. O Lord God, please help us and be a living example of the teachings. Jai. Okay. So continuing from the Religion of Love book, we just talked about, for as a man thinks, so shall he be. Change your thoughts, you change your life. And though much had been spoken and much shared, still the people pressed me, for they were hungry to hear of her. And so I told of another time, on the plains, of the heat and dust, the thousands who came to hear, and of one who did run after her, that he might ask, if a man would be perfect, what must he do? And of her answer, and how she turned to him, saying, rejoice, for already are you perfect. You are more brilliant than 1,000,000 suns. But now, in illusion, you are as the sun when covered by cloud, and so do not experience your true state of perfection. It is by the cleansing practice of religion that the cloud of ignorance is cleared away, and with it your illusion. And to the people she said, all spiritual practices are as a cleansing and a clearing, for already are you perfect, only covered by illusion. And what, asked another, is the practice? What must we do? We know many are the ways. We already know of prayer, meditation, of worship, charity, and more. Yes, laughed his friend, we know, but we never do. For we find them difficult to do, agreed the first. But there is one practice said to be the easiest way to liberation, the simplest way to come again to God. And so he asked of her, speak then on the chanting of the holy name of God. And this she did, that all might understand, explaining. One sec. Am I still connected? I saw something. Can you guys still hear me? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Hello, hello? Yeti, Aaron, Meet? Did you guys copy? Hello? Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, then the laptop disconnected for some reason. Something's going on with the Wi-Fi. The connection's good, but it seems to keep disconnecting for some reason. Well, turn it off and on. Sorry about this, guys. Let's see. Okay, I think it's back online now. Oops, let me mute this one. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about the interruption. We're back on. Oh, and hey, brother. All right, so where were we? So speak then on the chanting of the holy name of God. And this she did that all might understand, explaining, the Lord and his name are non-different. In the world we know, the name of an object and the object itself are different. Oh, it said again. Hold on. It said activation of the network failed for some reason. Oh, bother. Hey guys, did the audio cut again? Did that disconnect again? Oh, I don't know what's going. All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to not talk out of the not talk from Discord. I'm just going to do it from the phone instead of the laptop. Laptop we're gonna bail on for screen share. So sorry guys, I won't be able to screen share right now. But if you open the PDF, we're on page 10. So please follow along in the PDF. Okay. The Lord and his name are non-different. In the world we know, the name of an object and the object itself are different. Just by saying the word water, we cannot quench a thirst. But God and the name of God are not of the world we know, but of the Spirit. It is in the holy name of God, the Lord and his name being one and the same, that we come into the very presence of God himself. And by his presence are we purified, so that all the dirt of ignorance, all that is troublesome to the heart, is washed away, and our true spiritual self revealed. Oops. And the friend asked, "But which name of God? For you have taught there is only one God, but that he has unlimited names." And she answered him, "All the names of God are good, for all the names of God are God. It is not a name we call, but God we call." And the other asked, "Is one way of chanting God's name better than another?" And again she answered, "There are not any hard and fast rules. What matters most," she said, "is not the way of chanting, nor the words of chanting, but the love in the chanting." Okay, stop there. And apologies for the interruptions with the internet connection. So, don't know what happened there. So, if a man will be perfect, what must he do? And she answers, "Rejoice. Rejoice, celebrate, for already are you perfect." And there's a good reason to rejoice, because now you have knowledge that what you are looking for is already in your grasp. It just needs to be uncovered. I myself, when I was younger, I had the idea that I had to become enlightened by finding it somewhere or traveling far away, or someone needs to put it in me or bless me or something. But here, we're given the great revelation that, no, all perfection is already within us. All we seek, all we desire is already in our hearts. We just need to tap into it. We just need to awaken to our true self. So there's no sense in looking outside for love or anything else outside. You are always perfect, already self-realized, blissful, eternal, full of knowledge. In the Bible it says, "Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." But a better translation is, "Be complete as your Father is complete." Meaning, we need to completely come again to our natural state of being, which is currently covered. The soul never changes. The body changes. From youth to old age, birth to death, from all the variegated bodies of this universe, the bodies keep changing. They are temporary, they are material. But the soul within the body never changes. And everything we need, we already have. It's just a matter of accessing it, to realize it, to live it. We just don't experience it because the covering is causing our suffering. And this covering is illusion or ignorance. And another word for ignorance is forgetfulness. We've forgotten everything. Which is why we do a lot of clearing. Spiritual life, clean, clean, clean. That's what we do. We're cleaning off all the dust from the mirror of the mind, cleansing our hearts and minds of all this ignorance, all this illusion. And here's a nice example. She says, "You are more brilliant than 1,000,000 suns. But now in illusion you are as a sun when covered by cloud, and so do not experience your true state of perfection." So on a cloudy day, we go outside and we say, there's no sun today. But the sun is there. We're just not directly perceiving the heat of its rays because there's the clouds blocking. But the clouds don't actually cover the sun. No, it just appears to us to be covered. Similarly, our consciousness is just covered. There's a veil that's between our true self, the spirit soul, and the mind. So we are seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, experiencing this world through our senses and mind, through the veil of ignorance and illusion, this cloud, this covering over our original consciousness. But just as when the wind blows the clouds away, and you feel the full radiance, warmth, and light of the sun, if we but clear away the cloud of our own ignorance, will we experience the full bliss, joy, and ecstatic eternal consciousness of our true self. That is enlightenment. That is spiritual realization. And it is by the cleansing practice of religion that the cloud of ignorance is cleared away, and with it your illusion. The cleansing practice of religion, practice, something you do. Religion isn't a person, place, or thing. It's not a noun. It's not, a group of people. It's not a book. It's not something you label yourselves and others as. Religion, just like the word Islam, is a verb. Islam means to surrender to the will of God. And religion is the relinking practice by which we come again to God. So it's something you do, the cleansing practices. And in the religion of love, our practice is love. And we do it by giving up all that is not of love. But first, the mind must be cleared by yoga, the linking to God. And that is our spiritual practice. And the key is doing it. We may not do it perfectly, but we're cleaning. So all spiritual practices, as given by God, are as a cleansing and a clearing. That's it. Like different brands of soap. Doesn't matter what brand you go to, whether it's Medimix or Dove or whatever. You use it and your body will get clean. And that's what all religious practices are for. And this man says here, we know of many ways. We know of prayer, meditation, worship, charity, all of these fundamental practices of religion, which you can find in all revealed scriptures. All of them are just a clearing away of all that is covering our true self. They're just tools by which we can clean ourselves. And this guy is laughing. Yes, we know of all these things, but we never do them. For we find them difficult to do, agreed the first. Right. But there is one practice, he says, that is the easiest way to liberation, the simplest way to come again to God. Oh, okay. I like the sound of that. Something simple, something easy. All right, I'm all for that. Lay it on us, right? I don't want to do the hard, laborious, the time-consuming. I want quick results. I want instant gratification, right? That's what we all want, right? We don't want to read the whole book. We want to just see the headlines. We don't want to watch the whole video. We just want to get a reel, right? That's kind of what we are conditioned to these days. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. We're short-lived, short-memoried, and constantly distracted. So we truly need all God's help. And chanting is a gift from God. God is merciful, but we still must do it. And the most important thing in spiritual life is to hear. And chanting clears away all that junk to allow us to hear. I think, you back there, Banafshe?
Yeah, I'm here, honey. I'm just trying to turn my phone off.
Okay, come on in when you're ready. Friend has visited, haven't seen in years, and popping in middle of class. Oh, yay. Okay, so I'm reading Mother Tasha's notes while hearing here. So the holy name of God, the Lord and his name are non-different. And here's very clear teachings. In the world we know, the name of an object and the object itself are different. Just by saying the word water, 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 we can't quench our thirst. Doesn't work that way. That's material law, the duality of the material nature. But God and the name of God are not of the world we know, but of the Spirit. So God and the name of God are one and the same. This is the nature of the eternal, ecstatic spiritual, of the absolute nature of the spiritual realm. The object and the name are the same entity. In this material world, we are spirit souls in temporary material bodies. We are different from the body. So we are not this body. There's a difference between us and the body. But in the spiritual world, the soul and the soul's body are absolute. They're one and the same. So God and God's body, God's form, God's names, they are all one and the same, the absolute. So, in the holy name of God, the Lord and his name being one and the same, we come into the very presence of God himself. That is what chanting does. So, in chanting God's name, we don't call God to us. We call ourselves to God. What about you? Okay. Oh, your ankle. Oh, yeah, poor thing. I forgot about that. And you could have kept that on. So, I'm distracted. So, the Lord's names are holy. And all scriptures speak of this. Chanting is the process recommended in this age, the Yuga Dharma. And God has given a very simple yet very potent practice. All we need to do is call God's name.
That's right.
Chant as much as possible. There's a Sufi saying, one who doesn't chant the holy name of God is like a tree without fruit. And in the Quran it says, chanting the holy name is higher than ritual prayer. In the New Testament, it says to pray unceasingly. And that is possible through chanting God's names. Mahatma Gandhi was stronger at the age of 70 than when he was 20 because of constantly chanting the name of God. And when we chant, God hears the desire, the longing for the eternal in our hearts when we are chanting. And God is happy when we chant, because we are doing the best for our happiness and bliss. Know that you are valuable, you are worthy, pure spirit soul, and deserving of every good thing. Love yourself by doing something good for yourself. And chanting God's names is the best gift you can give yourself. And this friend asks, but which name of God? You have taught there is only one God, but that he has unlimited names. So God is unlimited, but we usually try to limit him by saying he has one name, one religion, one language, etc. But as it says also in the Religion of Love book, God cannot be cut like a cloth to fit the mind of man. God is unlimited. And all the names of God, as revealed through his scriptures, are all good. For all the names of God are God. Whether you chant Allah, Abba, Krishna, Govinda, Vasudeva, Rahman, it doesn't matter. Every single one of these names is 100% God himself. All the names of God are God. And it's not a name we call, but God we call. And someone's asked before, can I just say God? God, 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 God. Well, that refers to the Supreme Lord, but that's not his name, as he's told us. Like you can call me Guy, hey Guy, hey Guy, 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 hey dude, hey person. And I'll know you're talking to me, but that's not my name. The word God, which translates to many languages, Dios, Khoda, these are material sound vibrations. These are from our languages, from this world. But the holy name of God is not of this world, but of the spiritual, revealed unto us by the Lord's mercy. So, when we call upon any of God's names, it is a transcendental sound vibration. And that vibration coming from the spiritual world, coming from God himself, purifies us of all things not of love. And people might ask us in the religion of love, well, don't you pray? But in the chanting of the holy names of God, there is a prayer inherent in it. That you are asking for nothing material, but that what you want is God alone. And this other man asks, is one way of chanting God's name better than another? So again, we want what's simple, what's easy, right? And we want to get the most results out of what we're doing. So it's understandable to think, well, if I tweak it a little bit this way, will I get better results, right? If I do my yoga practice in a sauna, will I get better gains? Subject myself to terrible heat? Or if I chant super fast or chant in some meditative posture, if I chant in lotus position, will that be better? Will I get more purification? These are the things that people ask. We want the quick diet pill, but we don't want to do the exercise, for example. Quick results, right? But with chanting the holy names, there are no hard and fast rules. No. There's nothing that you can do to make the purification of your heart any faster, or anything you can do to make it harder to get more results. You just chant. Just chant the holy names. And the real thing about it is, it's not the way of the chanting, whether you're sitting, standing, saying quietly, or shouting, outside, indoors, doesn't matter. Nor is it the words of chanting, not which name of God, which mantra of God's names you choose to chant. What matters most is the love that you put into the chanting. There was a story of a man who had come to a guru wanting to be a disciple, and he asked how long it'd take till he was liberated. 10 years, said the guru. Well, what if I do twice as much as your other disciples? Then it will take you 20 years. Because you have one eye on the goal, what you get. You only have one eye left to see what you're doing, where you're going. So the great teaching is to be fully present. It's not about chanting perfect rounds. And by rounds, I mean to say, if you have beads, prayer beads as a form of keeping track of how much you chant, they're just a counting device. When you go through all the beads, chanting your mantra, name of God on each one, and you get to the origin, the last bead, you say you chanted one round, right? Remember, beads are nothing holy. Beads are just a counting device. You can also count on your fingers even. So it's not about chanting perfect rounds, but what's happening afterwards, the purifying, the being present. Some days are more difficult, but just do it. If you just hear what you say, put all your attention on the sound, the holy names, the mind cannot hear anything else. And Mother Atasha taught us that on the days where it's most difficult, the days we really don't feel like getting up and chanting, it's really become a chore, but we do it anyways. Those days we make a lot of advancement in our spiritual life. So observe and see what's going on in the mind when you are chanting. What is it saying? What is it doing? Etc. Because the mind will surely wander. Oh boy, do the mind wander. So, when we chant our rounds, we're keeping the mind busy with service for God. And we're focusing the mind, like I said, on hearing the sound. When we give someone our full attention, they will feel love. Being deeply attentive to the chanting will grow love for God. And if the mind's not focusing on the good, it'll naturally go towards the dark. The mind is very strong, but you're stronger. It takes practice, like working out, slowly making progress, getting stronger. And just as there is a time between seed and harvest, so too is there a trial by time in the faith of man. But know that though nothing may appear to be happening, you are happening. So, as you chant, things are going to be released. You're going to be letting go of lots of lifetimes of karmic reactions, fruitive desires, pains, angers, and fears deep within the mind. When you start chanting, as a practice, it is like taking a long rod to a clear pool in the forest. And you start churning that pool by chanting the holy names, churning the pool of your mind, and all the muck that was in the bottom now starts coming up to the surface. And my wife was sharing the practice of chanting to a friend of hers who's been regularly chanting now. And she said, oh my gosh, I've been chanting, all this anger comes up and I'm dealing with all these things and emotions. That means it's working. Things are coming up. Not so that you shove them back down, but so that they can be released, that they can go. like a good detoxing program. You feel sick when you're in a detox program because that's the toxins coming out of the body. But they have to go out. So don't mid-detox just call it quits and go to McDonald's. Don't do that. Stick with the process. Stick with the chanting. And the more you chant, the more your natural self you gradually become, the more love you experience and just are. So I guess I'll stop there. Oh, I don't have to change it. But anyways, any comments or questions, anyone? And welcome, dear friend.
Oh, dear friend. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you guys for so long.
Sorry, I forgot about I forgot you sprained your ankle.
I did badly.
I heard you had a Velcro strap. I assume you had a boot?
I took it off in the car.
Oh, well, you could have probably kept it on if you needed it.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to walk slowly and surely, but this was really nice.
Your
Back to you.
your health and your well-being is more important than the floor. It can always be clean.
Thank
So.
you. I just drag it.
Apologies.
Okay. Tom Kennedy, you're done?
No, now we're questions and answers.
Okay. This was really nice. Cool. Oh my God. Later. Everything later. We're going to have some fun tonight. I haven't seen him for like 7-8 years more. Probably, well, when did you move here? Nah.
Anyone have any questions related to chanting or spiritual practices or what we just covered or anything related to spiritual life?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Gee, 10 years. It was right before you came. I saw.
You good? No questions?
I'm good. I'll ask you some questions later.
About this stuff?
About the way you teach is wonderful.
The what now?
The way you teach.
I'm not really teaching, but I'm just sharing. Technically, right here, I have these are just notes.
Well, you're obviously it's a way of teaching because your voice, it's very. If you want to get my opinion on how you're doing on this is amazing.
Oh, okay.
But I can give you some other information. I mean, this was really good.
I'm humbly trying to just share like a
Information.
parrot,
Parrot, right.
exactly what my
You're
master
repeating
said.
it, but that's okay. But you're obviously, we're all, when we teach, we are parrots. I mean, if I'm teaching mathematics, somebody's better than me in mathematics, obviously. So I'm teaching their methods or coding or anything like that.
I find the best way of sharing spiritual knowledge is by living out and practicing that
Right.
knowledge.
Exactly.
And-
so that means you're transferring what you have been experiencing.
And then when you give that knowledge by words to others,
Right.
the best thing to do is just present it exactly as you heard it from the
Right.
authorities,
Exactly. So
without
that's-
deviation.
That's great. I mean, that's how when the way you recite this, or whatever it is, I can feel the fact that you have experienced this. You're not just a parrot. Parrots don't give a shit, but you do.
Well, neither
And
do
that
the
was really beautiful.
neither do the parents in all reality that actually know what they're even saying.
Thank you. Exactly. But that's why I close my eyes, because obviously I know you pretty well, and I just wanted to sort of experience that only, just that only, and it was magnificent.
Well, with spiritual knowledge, the real potency when someone speaks it comes from their living it, their practice of it. Without practicing what they preach, so to speak, there's no potency to move someone's heart.
Exactly.
So-
and it really moved me. It did.
Well, if you were moved by anything I said, that is solely by the mercy of my spiritual master in
That's
the Lord.
wonderful.
It's not from me.
I tell you, I was, there's a few things you said that it really, really touched me. It really did.
Okay.
The fact you said, when you chant, which I always knew because I chant, But you said it so beautifully that when you chant and chant and chant, all your anger, all your pains, all your sorrows, it just, over time, it just poofs out. Because what you really are doing, you're getting close to God.
Yes.
Bottom line.
And the funny thing is, God is always right there with us.
Right.
The thing is, what we're getting closer to is our real selves.
Right.
Because we're just experiencing this world right now through our conditioned mind.
That's right.
Which is full of defects, full of ignorance, and we're illusioned. We're not actually experiencing our eternal nature. We're experiencing the temporal nature of this world, which is constant change, birth and death. Just as these bodies are temporary.
Right.
We don't experience our nature of full conscious knowledge.
Right.
We're experiencing ignorance, forgetfulness,
Right.
all manner of vice.
We're humans.
And we don't experience ecstatic, ever-increasing bliss. We experience suffering.
That's right.
We experience all the problems of this
Problems
world.
of the world.
And that's what our experience is when we are covered over.
That's right.
So all spiritual practices, doesn't matter, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Jew, the process, the practices given by God are all meant to just clear away all of that covering. That is, in a nutshell, you can say everything not love.
Right.
Until only love remains.
That's it.
Only the spiritual. You, the real you.
Right, the real you.
And when you awaken to your original consciousness, basically you cleaned enough, which, mind you, we have a lot to clean. We've got quite the dirt, quite the baggage that we're taking with us on all these lifetimes. It's a lot we have to do.
That's right.
You know, it's not going to be a quick fix. You know, that's why this quote, you know, just as there is a trial by time in the faith of man, it will be tested. So we all want the quick fix. We all want the instant gratification.
That's right.
And there is nothing like that. You have to work towards it. You have to sacrifice.
That's right.
Lord Brahma, the first created being of the universe in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he was meditating all alone in the universe, no one else around him, trying to figure out, you know, his existence, who God is, everything. And the first word he hears, coming out of the ether, coming from God, was tapasya, which means sacrifice. Or austerity.
Yeah.
You have to work towards it.
Right.
It's not just going to come by its own accord, like winning the lottery. You know, but even winning the lottery, you still have to work, earn money, buy the ticket, pick your numbers.
Everything is a process.
So you have to work towards it.
Right.
And everything we work for in this world, trying to get something material, something for our senses, money, affection, possessions, power, prestige, whatever, trying to increase our beauty, trying to increase our strength, trying to increase our wealth of knowledge, most of which is not useful. All of the results, all the things we get from our work is limited and temporary. And ultimately binds us to more suffering because the happiness we get being so limited and temporary, we're always wanting more and more and more, and we're just chewing the chewed, never experiencing real love, real happiness. But that's why Mother Tasha's teachings here, when you chant, you're doing the best thing for yourself. It's the best gift to yourself.
It truly is.
There ain't no higher return on investment.
This is absolutely very true.
Because everything you do for your spiritual benefit, everything you do to come closer to your real self by following in the footsteps of the Lord's servants, following his message, his guidance, is going to bring us, like you said, closer and closer and closer to God by realizing our true self.
That's right.
Spiritualization is twofold. First, self-realization. You come to realize who you really are, not the body, not I'm man, I am American, or I am this or that, but realize that you are eternal spirit soul, the beloved lover, servant of God. And when you come to realize your true self, then all your practice of devotional service, which was a purification to come again to your real self, now becomes your eternal occupation, and you're engaging in the same service, but now purely, now blissfully. And you relish the transcendental love and ecstasy of God's service. Oh, and it's this reciprocation of love. And then comes the second part of spiritualization, God realization, because only the servant will know the master. So come to know your true self, then you can come again to know and love God. So that's the process of spiritual realization. And the simplest means is chanting. There are many other methods which he mentions: prayer, worship, meditation, charity, austerities, asceticism, but none of them go right to the point like chanting does.
I agree. It's very true.
There's a nice quote, I've said it before, from the Brihad Naradiya Upanishad. Harirnama, harirnama, harirnama eva kevalam, kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. And it says, in this dark age of quarrel and hypocrisy, which means this current age of Kali Yuga, right, there's no other way, no other way, no other way of deliverance except to chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names of God. No other way.
No, I'm totally with you on this.
Everything we do, the prayer, the meditation, the worship, that all brings us closer to the point of practicing devotional service, of which the two pillars of hearing and chanting.
That's right. It's very true. I think that you totally nailed it. I think that this whole chanting thing is what's really missing in everybody's life.
Oh my gosh. Nothing would make me happier than to see everyone chanting God's names. And I'm not the one who nailed it, of course. Right. This is all God's teachings.
Right. Right. I think that when we want to get close to the universe, be it God, be it whatever you want to call it, the only way to remove all these barriers, when we're humans, look around us, computers, all these methods of communication, this, and if you want to remove all this stuff, is to chant in your mind and in your heart. It's the only way you could really see the true colors of yourself and then receive God. And that's it.
And use everything. So, yes, there's tons of distractions. There's tons of stuff. Yeah. Like you said, there's computers, there's phones, there's traffic. There's lots of things.
That, right.
But when you utilize everything in service, then these things that formerly were a form of distraction and more pollution to our minds can actually be tools of more purification.
If we try to use it, it's honestly, it's like social media.
It's all about how you use it.
It's how you use it. If you use it, you're on YouTube right now, correct?
It will be on YouTube eventually.
Okay.
We had some connection problems. I'm not even be able to screen share on Discord. I messed up. We're not very good at utilizing these things.
Yeah. Because I've seen your stuff on YouTube. We can discuss this later if you're online with other people. So.
Oh yeah, we have Australia, India, Vegas all represented here right now.
Okay, good.
California.
That's wonderful. Say hello to everybody. Good. Are you on Zoom or Messenger?
Discord.
Discord, okay. All right.
Discord's pretty dope.
They did? Good.
Yeah, we'll get you up to speed soon.
Okay. That's good.
Love, do you have a question or anything?
Something came to my mind. I want to just a little put it together.
Okay.
First, let's see if other people has any question.
Oh, Meet, you have a question?
It's related to you saying, getting the sense of your true self. I kind of was able to put this into words in my head. It might not sound good, but when you experience emotions and this material reality, you feel happiness, you feel the pleasure of eating something pleasurable. You feel these things, but for me, it's over time it became like there's a witnesser that witnesses me laughing, and it's performing this laughter for something observing it. And so I become a little bit disconnected with each of my emotions. And like the entire material reality just becomes this flood of Maya. Like you feel joy, sadness, anger, but it's not you who's feeling it. It's your body that has these emotions and hormones that rise up, and I'm just witnessing them. And so, does that relate to kind of how we observe our true selves?
Well, that's wonderful. Well, that is your observation of the mind, which is great. Now, part of the peace process we covered last week was we are to observe all the thoughts, the feelings, and in your case, you're even experiencing of the senses of the body, and knowing that we are separate from the mind. So you're not your thoughts, you're not your sensory experiences, you are the spirit soul within the body. So by you playing the part of the observer, which is what we're all meant to do, to be observant of our thoughts, and knowing that we are separate from them, that will help us to become detached from sensory activities in terms for material sense pleasures, and help us by, again, being aware that we're not these bodies, we're not these minds, to utilize everything, use our intelligence to engage everything properly in devotional service. So there's no wrong in enjoying things in this world. There's nothing wrong in, taking a bite out of some tasty food and enjoying it. Nothing wrong with that. But we consciously try our best to dovetail everything in devotional service. Try to dovetail everything in remembering God and our spiritual reality, our true purpose. So when you have that tasty bite of food, you can think, oh, thank you, Lord, for this wonderful food. Or thank you, Lord, for the purification of my heart for eating food that's been offered unto you, for example. So always trying to dovetail everything of our mind and senses in a way that is purifying to us rather than polluting to us. Because everything we do, everything we say, everything we think is either going to bring us more purification or more covering. It's going to add more conditioning and illusion to the mind. So we try to do everything we can to spiritualize every one of our activities. And the fact that you're able to feel a sense of detachment from your thoughts and sensories and your feelings, senses and feelings, shows that you're making progress in spiritual life, which is great. Now you can catch your mind and guide it properly, which is wonderful. For the most part, we are just taken for a wild ride by our mind and senses. There's an analogy in the Bhagavad Gita, and nice illustrations too in the copy we have on the server, of the soul being the passenger of a chariot. And the driver of the chariot is the mind. And there are 5 horses pulling it, which are the 5 senses. Hearing, sight, smell, touch, and taste. And so the reins of the horses are the sense objects, what the senses are after. So the mind is really running the show. The mind is just taking the horrified soul in the background and the backseat for a wild ride. The mind's in control. Now, in our natural state of being, of course, when our consciousness is fully cleansed of all material contamination, when the mind is purified of all material, ignorance and illusion, then the mind becomes quiet, becomes calm, and becomes a tool used by the soul. Basically, the soul, the real self, then becomes again the driver. And the mind is used exactly as it's meant to be, a wonderful tool in this world to aid us. The uncontrolled mind is our greatest enemy in life, whereas the controlled mind, or as Mother Tasha said, the better word than controlling the mind is employing it properly, to engage it in the proper way. So the properly engaged mind becomes our greatest ally, our greatest friend in spiritual life. And it's a wonderful tool, my goodness, to just go into the recesses of your mind to remember someone's name or a phone number or some knowledge you remember long ago that you can now apply in this particular situation to serve you well. The mind's a powerful computer. But like an AI that's totally unhinged and out of control and causing disturbances, as they're doing right now all over social media, our minds are like that as well. It's like an AI in a sense. And being able to observe it and know that we are the observer of the mind will help us in our purification and control of it. So it's good you're having those ability to differentiate yourself from your mind. That's great, brother. And was there more to your comment or question that I missed? I think there was another part to it. Or did that cover it?
It was more like a thought that I had. But I noticed one thing. I mean, at times it's very, very pleasurable and very, not pleasurable, but like more satisfaction. You get more satisfaction in living that way. But another side of it, I think, at least for me, it makes me depressed. Not to be negative, but it's a little sad when you're observing these things, you're not truly feeling them. You're seeing it all as temporary. It's not really bringing any joy. I know in the past it would bring you joy to do a lot of things, and those things would go away. And there's no going back now. You know, like once you have it, it's really difficult to go back unless pick up a bunch of bad habits.
Oh, you don't go back. Now you keep going forward. Now the bliss, the joy, comes from our connection, our relationship with God. So by our forgetfulness of God and forgetting everything's natural, proper position in relation to God, and that forgetfulness we suffer. When the wise sage, the purified, self-realized soul, can see everything as being a part of God, God's energies, and meant for God's service, and that connection, that relationship of everything with God is never forgotten, then there is no question of suffering, no question of negative feelings of the mind. So we just need to keep chanting. Chant, chant, chant. And all of that depression, that negativity, those experiences you're feeling, they'll eventually go away. And that peace process, that tool given by Mother Vitasha, will help expedite the expunging of those negative thoughts and feelings much faster. So just stick with the process. You're making wonderful progress. You really are. Most never can differentiate themselves from the mind. In fact, most of us, we think that the thoughts in our head is us. The voice in our head, the narration, the record spinning, we think that is us. It's not. It's not us at all. The real us, when you experience it, your true self, it's like waking up from a bad dream, Mother Vitasha said. Like if you wake up from a nightmare, what do? We go, wow, it's just a dream. Oh, thank goodness, right? Well, it's like that. We wake up from the dream of worldly life, which we think right now we are awake. We're conversing, we're talking, but actually this is a dreamlike state because we're conversing through our minds and bodies. Whereas a realized soul, someone like a Mother Vitasha, someone like a Jesus, any great spiritual master, saint, realized souls out there, they're not acting and experiencing the world through the mind, since that's been completely purified. Their hearts are purified. They are acting directly from their real selves. Now, of course, they are aware that they're in the body and utilizing this body in the Lord's service, of course. But still, since everything is again realized in relation to God, they know that this body also, though made of material energy, is also part of God's energies and ultimately is God's properties. And even these senses are also God's senses. So what I'm tasting, the Lord is tasting. What I'm seeing, the Lord is seeing. So never for one moment forgetting God. This is a life of devotion and seeing everything in relation to God in love. So that is what we eventually come again to when we continue and don't look back, chant every day, give us this day our daily bread, stay steadfast and determined on the path made straight, all wonderful, beautiful, life abundant and eternal will come to the one who sincerely sticks to the path of devotional service. And you'll be again your natural state. You'll be again in a state of love. And in a state of love, your natural state, there ain't no loss or diminution. It's ever increasing, ever expanding, unlimited, eternal. Mother Natasha was giving us little tidbits of the spiritual world. She said, in the spiritual world, in the kingdom of God, where we're all naturally from, of course, you experience the highest state of bliss that you can't even put into words. I mean, all of the joy and happiness you can experience in this world is not even a speck of dust compared to the ocean of bliss in the spiritual world. And she said that in every single day in the spiritual world, it increases. It's completely topped the next day, and even more the next day, and even more love the next day. It's ad infinitum, which is beyond the mind. So if any time we are experiencing any negativity or depression or any feeling that's not ecstatic love, it means we're still conditioned and covered in ignorance in our minds. And we got more cleaning to do. And the recommended practice given by the Lord through his representatives is we work our ways up to chanting at least 2 hours a day, minimum, each day. That's the minimum recommended dosage, you can say, to prescribe one who's suffering from the infection of material nature. 2 hours minimum, or if you're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on beads of 108, 16 rounds of that, which takes you about 2 hours to do if you're not distracted. So 16 rounds Maha Mantra, 2 hours chanting names of God. That is the recommended practice of chanting. Of course, we're recommended to chant 24/7, of course, all day, never for one moment forgetting God. But as your sadhana, as your practice, try to at least do that minimum. And so anyone sincerely seeking to be enlightened, to be self-realized, to be again with God now and forever, is advised to work your way up naturally to at least get to that minimum, and then stick with it. And then don't look back, and just ever increase. So, so work your way up to that. I know, brother, you're about half that now, which is so awesome. You've been making a lot of great progress. I think once you hit the 2 hour mark every day, Brother Meat, you're going to be off to the races. I know Aaron here, when he started chanting 2 hours daily, wonderful things were happening in his heart. And of course, don't have expectations like, don't be fruitive thinking, once I get to that or once I do this, I'm going to get some good feelings, get some good experiences. No. We just humbly try again to be good servants of the servants of the servants of God. Just come again to love, to be of loving service. And naturally, all those wonderful experiences and bliss and all that, they'll come of their own accord in good time without even seeking them. Liberation from material existence comes of its own accord for the sincere devotee on the path of devotional service. So you don't have to have any separate endeavor. Just follow in the footsteps of the Lord's servants. Chant the holy names regularly, and best you can, try to be of loving service. And of course, try and give up some bad habits too that might be stumbling blocks along the way, which I know most of y'all here don't really have too many bad habits. So you guys are doing great. We're almost out of time. Any last question or comment? Nothing. We had a lull of disconnected internet recently, so maybe.
We're good.
Okay, then.
We're good.
Then we'll wrap it up there then. So, all glories to Mother Natasha, all glories to the religion of love, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to our Supreme Lord. Jai.